My husband lived a double life for 3 years, and I never suspected a thing. But the night I discovered who he really was, I didn't cry. I didn't confront him. I quietly collected every piece of proof and exposed everything in a single night he'll never forget. My name is Lena, and until last year, I believed I was living the perfect marriage. My husband Daniel was charming, respected, successful, the kind of man people admired. But what I didn't know was that he was also living a life I was never supposed to discover, a second identity, a second relationship, a second version of himself that didn't include me at all. This is how I found out, and how I exposed everything in one night. Daniel and I married 5 years ago. Our life was stable, peaceful, predictable. Daniel traveled often for work, and I trusted him completely. We had a cozy home, a quiet routine, and I never imagined betrayal could hide inside something so ordinary. But double lives don't stay buried forever, and his cracks started showing in the smallest ways. It began with an Uber receipt on his phone. I wasn't snooping. He asked me to check the weather, and when I unlocked it, a notification popped up. Your ride with Melissa is complete. Melissa? He never mentioned a Melissa. When I asked, he casually said, "Oh, that's just the name of the Uber driver." But the picture next to the message wasn't an Uber icon. It was a selfie of a woman, not a driver, not an app, a contact. That was the first time my stomach twisted with a feeling I didn't understand back then. Suspicion, but I didn't confront him. Not because I was scared, but because something inside me whispered, "Watch." A week later, I went to put away Daniel's dry-cleaned shirts. I opened his bedside table and noticed the bottom drawer was locked. He never locked anything. I didn't have the key, but I had time and curiosity, and a growing sense something was wrong. So I waited until he left for a conference, and I did what every woman with survival instincts eventually learns to do. I searched, not wildly, not emotionally, methodically. I checked inside his shoes, coat pockets, laptop bag, and inside a hidden zipper in his old leather jacket. I found a small key. When I opened the locked drawer, my whole world shifted. Inside were a second phone, a credit card with a different last name, hotel key cards, printed flight itineraries, and a necklace box not meant for me. But the most disturbing thing was a stack of photographs. Daniel with another woman, laughing, holding her waist, kissing her. This wasn't cheating. This was a second relationship, a second identity. And he wasn't Daniel Carter in those photos. He was Daniel Reed. His middle name turned into a fake last name. My breath froze, but my tears didn't fall. I didn't break. I didn't confront him. That's what cheaters expect. They expect emotion, they expect shouting, they expect drama, so I gave him nothing. Instead, I opened a new Google Drive folder and labeled it Insurance. I scanned everything, every photo, every hotel receipt, every message on the second phone. Yisai cracked the password. He used our anniversary. Irony tastes bitter. And what I found inside that phone was worse than the drawer. Messages, thousands of them. With Melissa, who wasn't just his girlfriend, she thought she was his fiancée. They had been together for 3 years. She thought I was his ex-wife who couldn't let go. She believed he lived in 2 apartments because of work distance. She thought he was saving for their wedding. I didn't feel angry. I felt played. I felt stupid. I felt replaced. But then another feeling replaced the pain. Purpose. I spent 2 weeks gathering evidence. Screenshots, bank statements, location logs, audio recordings, emails, pictures, videos. I built a digital map of his entire double life. Every lie, every detail, every secret. And then I created a plan so airtight he wouldn't escape the consequences. I printed everything and put it into a neat binder labeled Truth. Then I invited him to dinner, at our house, candlelit, quiet, perfect, the last peaceful moment he would ever have with me. When Daniel walked in, he kissed my cheek as if everything was normal. He said, "You look beautiful tonight." And I smiled because he didn't know yet. Dinner was calm. I let him talk about his work trip next week. Lie after lie, effortless, confident. After dessert, I placed the binder on the table. "What's that?" he asked. "A gift," I said. "Open it." He smiled until he didn't, because the first page was a photo of him kissing Melissa. His face drained of color. He flipped to the next page, and the next, and the next. Hotel rooms, texts, phone logs, receipts, everything. His hands started shaking. Lena, I can explain. No, I can explain. I leaned forward. What you forgot, Daniel, is that I am smarter than you'll ever be. His eyes widened. Please listen. I was going to end it. You were planning a wedding with her. He froze like his lungs forgot how to work. I continued. You didn't just cheat. You created a second identity. You lived a second life. And you thought you'd never get caught. He didn't speak. He couldn't. Then I told him the part he never saw coming. I exposed everything. His head jerked up. What do you mean? I sent all of this to Melissa 2 hours ago. His face cracked, panic spreading like fire. No, Lena. Why would you? And I continued calmly. I sent it to your boss, the one who thinks you're the most trustworthy man in the company. His body froze solid. And, I said softly, I sent it to your parents too. His voice broke. Lena, please, you don't understand. No, Daniel, you don't understand. You built a double life. So I built a double ending. He collapsed into the chair, head in his hands, whispering, What have you done? He tried to reach for me, beg, explain, plead. But I stood up, took off my wedding ring, and placed it on the table next to the binder. There's one more thing, I said. He lifted his head. I filed for divorce this morning. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. And you're paying for everything, because I also sent copies of your financial records to the court, including the ones under your fake last name. That was the moment he realized he didn't lose me. He lost everything. His relationship, his reputation, his job, his money, his second identity. His entire double life collapsed in one night, and I walked out without looking back. Melissa contacted me later. We talked, we cried, we healed. She was a victim too. Daniel lost his job, his fiancée left him, his family cut him off. He had to sell his second apartment. Last I heard, he moved states and changed numbers. He thought he could live 2 lives. But in the end, he lost both. So that's how my husband's double life unraveled in one night. Not with a fight, not with screaming, but with proof and a perfectly executed plan. And if you're listening to this, remember, revenge doesn't always require anger. Sometimes all it takes is truth and the courage to expose it.